Frog and the Stranger.
One day, a stranger arrived and made a camp at the edge of the woods. It was Pig who discovered him first. Have you seen him? Asked Pig excitedly when he met Duck and Frog. No. What's he like? Asked Duck. If you ask me, he looks like a filthy, dirty rat, said Pig. What does he want here? You have to be careful of rats, said Duck. They are thieving a lot. How do you know? Asked Frog. Everyone knows that, said Duck indignantly. But Frog was not so sure. He wanted to see for himself. That night, when darkness fell, he saw a red glow in the distance. Frog crept nearer. At the edge of the woods, he saw a couple of sticks with a rag draped over them like a makeshift untidy tent. The stranger was cooking in a pot over a fire. There was a wonderful smell, and Frog thought it all looked very cozy. I've seen him, Frog told the others next day. And? Asked Pig. He looks like a nice fellow, said Frog. Be careful, said Pig. Remember, he's a dirty rat. I bet he'll eat all our food without ever doing a day's work, said Duck. Rats are cheeky and lazy. But that was not true. Red was always busy. He collected words and skillfully made a table and bench. He was not really dirty either. He often bathed in the river, although he looked a little scruffy. One day, Frog decided to visit Red. Red was sitting resting on his new bench in the sun. Hello, said Frog. I am Frog. I know, said Red. I can see that. I am not stupid. I can read and write, and I can speak three languages English, French, and German. Frog was very impressed. Even Hare couldn't do that. Just then Pig arrived. Where are you from? He asked Red angrily. From everywhere and nowhere, replied Red calmly. Well, why don't you go back? Cried Pig. You've no business here. Red remained calm. I've just traveled all over the world, said Red, unmoved. It's a peaceful here, and there is a wonderful view over to the river. I like it here. I bet you stole the wood, said Pig. I found it, said Rat in dignified voice. It belongs to everyone. Dirty rat, muttered Pig. Yes, yes, said Rat bitterly. Everything is always my fault. Rat is always blamed for everything. Frog, Pig, and Duck went to visit Hare. That filthy rat must leave, said Pig. He has no right to be here. He steals our wood and is rude as well, cried Duck. Quite, quite, said Hare. He may be different from us, but he is not doing anything wrong, and the wood belongs to everyone. From that day on, Frog went to visit Rat regularly. They sat side by side on the bench, enjoying the view, and Rat told Frog stories of his adventures around the world, for he had traveled widely and had had many exciting experiences. Pig disapproved of Frog. You shouldn't go round with that filthy rat, he said. Why not? Asked Frog. Because he is different from us, said Duck. Different? Said Frog. But we are all different. No, said Duck. We belong together. Rat is not from round here. Then one day Pig was careless while he was cooking. Flames leapt from the frying pan. Soon the fire spread and the flames were everywhere. The house was ablaze. He ran outside terrified. Fire, fire, he screamed, but Rat was already there. He hurried between the river and the house with buckets of water and fought the flames until the fire was out. The roof of Pig's house was totally destroyed. All the animals stood drowned in shock. Now Pig was homeless, but he needed have worried. The next day Rat came round with hammer and nails. As quick as a flash, the house was repaired. Another time Hare went to river to fetch some water. Suddenly he slipped and fell into deep water. Hare couldn't swim. Help, help, he shouted loudly. It was Rat who heard the shouts at once and dived straight into the water. Quickly he rescued Hare and brought him to the dry, safe bank. Everyone now agreed that Rat could stay. He was constantly happy and cheerful and was always there if someone needed help. He often thought of fun things to do, like having a picnic by the river or a trip into the forest. And during the evenings, he told them all exciting stories about dragons in China and other exciting things he had encountered in the world. It was a very happy time, and Red always had new tales to tell. But one fine day, when Frog visited his friend Red, he couldn't believe his eyes. The tent had been taken down, and Red was standing there with the rucksack. Are you leaving? Asked Frog in amazement. It's time to move on, said Red. I might go to America. I've never been there. Frog was devastated. With tears in their eyes, Frog, Duck, Hare, and Pig said goodbye to their friends Red. Perhaps I will come back one day, said Red cheerfully. Then I'll build a bridge over the river. Then he left that filthy, dirty, but nice, cheeky, careful, helpful, clever Red. They stared after him until he disappeared behind the hill. We'll miss him, said Hare with a sigh. Yes, Red left an empty space behind, but the bench was still there, and the four friends often sat together on it and talked over the memories of their good friend Rat.